004KT, the forgotten album by Playboi Carti and NBA Youngboy, allegedly, because at this point it seems as though it is not coming whatsoever, especially with Playboi Carti even teasing new music coming soon. And by new music, he quite literally means music, like that is the title of his next project. Again, allegedly, because we don't really know what's going on with him. And that, I think, is the theme surrounding not only his career, but why this album has been forgotten. Because even though they somewhat announced it, not necessarily Carti or his team, it was really just a jeweler. Even if he does say something, I think at this point, his fans don't even take his word for it. I mean, he even has his own brand called Narcissist, and you know all the other allegations that he has. The man could literally send a screenshot of his album released on all streaming platforms and still nobody would believe him. But regardless, once again, in today's video, we're talking about this forgotten album of 004KT, a collab tape by NBA Youngboy and Playboi Carti that was expected to release in 2023, and why I think it's gonna get shelved, as in never see the light of day. And yes, I know Playboi Carti's a vampire and all, metaphorically, people. So just some backstory for the people who weren't aware of this collab tape by Carti and Youngboy. Essentially, all of a sudden, one day on June 12th, 2023, Filthy, Playboi Carti's main producer, tweets 004KT, which is symbolic for the two brands to merge of Opium, the 00, and then 4KT, which is Youngboy's gang or posse, because we're not trying to get a RICO case over here. They wear purity rings. Bye. But as I was saying, Opium Baby, aka Jalen, another man in Carti's squad who is allegedly an A&R for Opium, also tweets 004KT. However, with that being said, we all know that his tweets aren't necessarily always official, because he also tweeted 00 Glock, trying to hint that Glock 40 Spaz was signing to Carti or Opium, and then Glock 40 Spaz responded by dissing Carti on multiple tracks. But Filthy, definitely credible, especially because he's probably the producer on the collab tracks. And if that didn't convince you that Carti and Youngboy were cool in some way, Carti then posted on his Instagram story a picture of the boy. However, at this point, no one really thought it was a collab tape. It could just be a single or maybe a cameo in a music video, since Carti likes to do that sometimes. Literally just showing his face will increase somebody's streams. But then the Instagram account Jewelry Unlimited posts this iced out diamond chain that Youngboy was wearing in Carti's Instagram story, saying 004KT, Playboi Carti gives Youngboy a chain ahead of their new collab album. And of course, this got the whole hip-hop community talking, because Carti and Youngboy are very different artists, in the sense that Youngboy is obviously on the street side of things, although he is experimental with his sound a lot. I don't get it, but his fans do. And then Carti is seen as more of a rock-inspired rap artist, I guess. However, the fan bases are quite similar in that they both exist primarily online. You'll see both Youngboy and Carti fans running a train on every single rap page's comments, saying that each respective artist is better at whatever the topic of the post was. And even though most collabs involving Carti never release, or once again nobody believes it will, the main reason that a collab tape with Youngboy though made sense is because on his last project called I Rest My Case, he was actually criticized for rapping on similar beats to Carti and or the Underground Lane, which of course everyone attributes to the Whole Lotta Red effect. I mean, one of the songs is quite literally called Red, and not that Carti necessarily owns the color red, but when you use similar ad-libs and beats and flows, the coincidences that line up start getting more suspicious than the hookers that are locked in my bathtub. Especially when earlier last year he claimed on a Clubhouse interview with academics that he would never work with Carti, but is a fan of Ola Runt, which is notoriously one of Carti's ops that had a gang war with him in Atlanta. So perhaps Youngboy is just a spy trying to get insider information from where Carti's staying at, because of course no one else online has that info. Not even Iggy or Gilbert at home. Left for that milk like 6 months ago. It's probably spoiled at this point. But now that we have the full story breakdown as to where this 004KT collab tape even came from, and the fact that it's already been a couple months since the first tweet announcements, we have to discuss if it's actually still dropping. And I could be wrong, but the plain simple answer from me at least is no. Because as much as I think that both of these fan bases would think this would be a cool sound, it would probably incite more riots than Trump and Kai Cenat, I just don't think Carti would associate himself with NBA Youngboy. Now, there's nothing wrong with him. However, if you follow Playboi Carti's features and or collabs throughout the last couple of years, it seems as though he's keeping a positive trajectory of the clout or fame of the rapper or artist that he's collabing with. In that his most recent feature was on Travis Scott's Utopia, wherein Travis Scott is obviously one of the biggest rappers on this planet, selling upwards of 500,000 copies, the highest selling album of this year thus far. The one before that was on Popular with Madonna and The Weeknd, which are pop icons. He even skipped out on the feature on Lil Uzi Vert's Pink Tape for some reason, maybe because him and Uzi already soaked up as much clout as possible through their countless collabs over the years, and considering Pink Tape's sales of only 165k versus Eternal It Takes 300k or so, maybe Carti doesn't think he's big enough to collab with anymore. The one before that was with Trippie Redd. However, the song Miss the Rage was already huge, with his fans begging him to be on it, so of course it was going to be a guaranteed success. And then in 2020, he featured on Drake's Pain 1993 on the Dark Lane demo tapes, and we all know Drake is the largest artist in the world. And so with it being 2023, with the last few features being massive hits, and I know Youngboy has a strong fan base and streams well, but it just doesn't necessarily add up to the A-list celebrity collabs that Carti's been doing lately. I mean, there's definitely a possibility that Carti will feature on one of his projects or vice versa. I think being on the Youngboy album definitely has a higher chance though. I just really see no chance in hell that Carti and Youngboy would make a whole collab tape, especially when he's never done one before. Or rather, the last one with Uzi, 1629, never even released either, and Uzi's a way bigger artist and better friend. Not to mention, Carti's going on this antagonist tour with all of his artists, also claiming new music on the way in his Instagram story, trying to prove that he was in fact on the Travis Scott album instead of Homicide Gang. And so it'd only be smart to promote his own upcoming album Music, or whatever it ends up being called, instead of clouding up Youngboy. Because as much as NBA Youngboy has more total streams, we all know that that's due to the fact that he drops a new song every single week, it seems. However, if they were both to drop on the same day, Carti would easily have more hype. NBA Youngboy was still wrestling with Lil Durk for like the number 2 or 3 album a few months ago. And typically I feel like collab tapes are comprised of more equal artists. I mean, no offense, but NBA Youngboy made one with Rich the Kid and had to carry him through the whole entire track list like he was goddamn Greg Jennings with a broken fucking leg. But with all that being said, it's been your boy Bobbalam signing off, telling the Atlanta DA that 4KT is a criminal organization and deserves a RICO case so that this tape never sees the light of day. Y'all let me in the comments if you think that this 004KT Playboi Carti Youngboy collab tape is ever gonna drop. I wouldn't even be surprised if both of the artists forgot the tape themselves. Carti for sure if he's off the opiates like he says he is. And of course, make sure to like, subscribe to the Bob Gang if you with it. Peace out, copy. Know what I'm saying?